What's up, everybody, and welcome to How To Tuesdays. We are live, and I'd like to welcome you all to this live. We're going to be talking about heart health and how to exercise and keep your heart healthy and happy, and keeping you guys pumping it up for longer and longer and longer in this crazy, crazy, crazy world that we live in. I've linked below the links for the blog posts that I'm going to be talking about that are released yesterday. Earlier today, I released a minicast series where I talked about a couple of things when it came to heart health and some things that I like to do, like types of training. Everything actually has to revolve around resistance training for me, because technically everything is resistance training. Now, I know some of you guys might not agree with it, but technically everything is resistance. If we don't place the resistance in our body, we will not be able to do anything. And if you guys want to prove me wrong on that one, I'd like to see it. For example, swimming. We're applying a resistance in order to propel our bodies forward. Running, we're applying a resistance on the ground in order for us to move forward. Cycling, we're applying a resistance on a pedal to put the resistance on a tire that has resistance on a wheel, which propels us forward. So everything for me is resistance training. Now, into the thick of it. What I want to do is I want to talk a little bit about some of the importance behind quote unquote, sorry, my camera's a little weird today, cardio, and how it applies to your heart. From the statement that I just recently said, when we're doing any form of cardio, we're doing a form of resistance training. We're applying resistance, and we are indirectly affecting the heart. What happens at the actin myosin filaments, which are the muscle fibers itself, just sum it up that way, the muscle fibers itself, when they tear, they may actually go into an aerobic or anaerobic state, meaning that they get exercised to the point where they're not using oxygen to repair themselves, or they are using oxygen to repair themselves. That anaerobic, aerobic. Okay, so I just want to get that clear. But the actual act of the stuff that we do is not aerobic or anaerobic. Everything is resistance. I know that might sound a little confusing, but try running on ice. You're not gonna go anywhere. Well, you might land on your face. I know, because today was a slippery, snowy day here in Toronto, and it wasn't fun at all. I hate the snow, I hate the ice. So there are three things that I actually will tell you guys, three tips that I'm going to give you guys today to help with this How To Tuesday. Tip number one, work out on a daily basis. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to work out, go to a gym. This doesn't mean that you have to grab a kettlebell. This doesn't mean that you have to go for a run. Workout means you could go for a walk, you could go for a bike ride. If it's like Toronto right now, where we got dumped last night with 20 centimeters of snow, bike ride might not be the best thing. Grab your skis, go cross country skiing. No one's going to say no to that. So everything that we do physically could be considered a workout. Now, this is just really simple stuff, and it's quite interesting because I'm actually working on a new project right now for a movement challenge. And keep your ears out for that, because I'm going to be releasing that sometime by the beginning of next month. So keep your ears out for that. That's coming. That's coming very soon. It's a movement challenge. It's designed to get you off your butt and on just getting stuff done. Just go and get it. Go and get it done. So tip number 2: use resistance training at least twice a week. Now, my professional advice is to be using resistance training anywhere between 3 and 6 times a week. Take the time off. Take the time for you to repair. Take the time so you can fix whatever you've ripped apart. When you're doing any form of resistance training, let's say the gyms open up soon, and we go back to the gym. We don't grow when we're in the gym. We actually destroy when we're in the gym. We grow when we're at home, taking our supplements, taking our food, taking our rest. That's when the muscles actually start to repair. When we're in the gym, all we're doing is ripping muscle apart. You get that bloated sensation of the muscle because you have other factors that are being implemented, like lactic acid, like extra excretion of creatine monohydrate, like just inflammation of the actual muscle because we're tearing it. So when it inflames, it bloats up. If you don't believe me, sprain an ankle. No, please don't sprain an ankle. Don't. I don't want you spraining no ankle. Don't. Excuse me. And the final tip that I'm going to give you guys tonight is I'm going to actually go back on my word here. Do some form of cardio. What I mean by cardio is simply run, swim, walk, cycle, skip, ski, whatever. I'll be honest with you guys, I personally do not like running. It hurts me. I actually touched up on this on the podcast that I did earlier today. Take a listen to it if you want. I would have rather enjoyed taking a 3-hour walk. And when I mean walk, I'm not talking about a stroll in the park and enjoying the flowers. I'm talking about a good pace, getting your heart rate up, getting the sweat going. You're going at a good rate. But when you stop and it's a cold day and that cold wind hits you and you're like, ooh, okay, yeah, I'm working out now. That's the type of walk I'm talking about. It's more like a march, like a military march. The Army actually has a really good, don't think it's the Army. Don't think it's the American Army. I think it's the British one. They have the 40 miler. I think the Americans have this too. I could be mistaken. It's a 40-mile march. You're marching for 40 miles straight with a rucksack. And then they have the 9-miler, which is a 9-mile run. And you have to do it in a certain amount of time. I'm not saying do a 40-mile walk or a 40-mile march. My walks usually last about 7.5 miles, 7.5 to 8 miles. It takes about 3 hours to do. My body's sore. I've worked up a great sweat, so it's something more like that. Thanks, Gilbert. Love the comment. And yes, I'm glad I could be of help. Any way that I can help, Gilbert, you just let me know. I'm always here to help. So those are my 3 tips. Work out on a daily basis. Doesn't mean that you have to go to the gym. And I just the 2 ways that I actually explained with the other 2 tips was use resistance anywhere between 2 and 6 times a week, giving yourself proper proper rest in between, and doing some form of quote unquote cardio. And I use that term extremely loosely because I do not like that term. If you guys still don't know how to go about doing all this stuff, 21-day caveman challenge will be up by the end of this week, I guarantee, and it will be up for you guys to come consume. It will be less than the cost of a coffee for you that you will pay for a month. You guys got no excuse. I give it to you. I give you guys my best. In 21 days, I'm going to have you guys moving, grooving, throwing, doing stuff that will make you feel great at the end of it. And I have a special little tip. Not tip. Special little surprise for a couple of people at the end of it. The special surprise is whoever has the biggest transformation in it will be featured on the Fitness Oracle with their own podcast. So, I mean, I'm juicing it up as much as I can to get you guys on there. I want you guys to be successful in your fitness and health. And one of the biggest parts of mental health is physical health. And you guys know that from my past and what I have been through and how I've gotten out of it. And I'm just here to share. And I need you guys to be all in on it. Anyways, I will post a link for the Caveman Challenge with this live, so you guys can have access to it and sign up when it comes live, probably by the end of the week. I'll make another note of it, probably on TGIF Hot Fridays, when I really go off on the term cardio. I freaking just hate that word. Just drives me nuts. Just get that little tick in the back of your head. Anyways, you guys have a good night. I will see you guys tomorrow when I release another episode of John's Daily Bites.